Today I'm gonna be talking about how my family found out that I was pregnant. Well, it all started uh, on the okay. So, well, the reality is that my family didn't know that I was pregnant till I was 6 months. I know that sounds really crazy, stupid at the same time, but yeah, I was really scared to tell them, and I was really just scared and embarrassed at the same time of telling them, that I was, pregnant. But because I have a good reason. It was because my family is a Christian family, like really Christian family. And me telling them that I was pregnant, it was like telling them something really bad. I know it's really bad at my age, but I was just scared, like, to tell them because I have grandparents and they are really, really, and they're religious like this, strong, and they're religious and they're Christianity and stuff. And my family's Christian. I'm Christian. All of us are Christians. And well, it was I was scared of telling them, just because I didn't know how they were gonna react to it. I didn't know how to tell them. Like, basically, I didn't know how to, sit them down and telling them. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know nothing. So, but I went to school. Through all my whole pregnancy. I went to school. I finished school. We were in the vacation. Started when I was 6 months, and that's when my family found out because. So one of my aunts, sister of my mom, daughter of my grandma, died. She was very sick, and she passed away. Just like the same day, I think it was a Friday or Thursday that she passed away. The same day I went out, I got out of school. That's the day she passed out, like the same day. I think it was June 16, June 17, I'm not sure. But it was June when she passed away. And it was June when I got out of school. But, okay, so we went down to Washington. That's where I had my baby, in Washington. So we went down to Washington, and we basically went for my aunt because she passed away, and we had to be there, to give support and tell her our goodbyes and stuff like that. Well, so the same day I came to down in Washington, that same day I went out with my cousin, one of my cousins, Samantha, the one that was with me in my birth. And she was with me when I had my baby inside of the room with me. But I went with her. I don't know where I went, but I went somewhere to pay somebody or give money for something. I'm not sure. But we went to a house. I don't know for what, but I don't know for what really. I'm forgetting stuff. But we went down to a house to do something. I don't know. But she went down to a house. I did it. I just went in, just with her. That's it. But she went. But I just went with her. So she got the truth out of me. She basically told me, you're pregnant, you look pregnant, are you pregnant, all those questions. And I just basically said, yes, I am pregnant. And in that moment I was 6 months with no care, with no care for me or for the baby, nothing, like nothing. I know I was so stupid back then, but for not going to the doctor and stuff. But but basically, okay, so she got out the truth of me. Then we went home to her house, because I don't live in Washington. I just went down there because of my aunt. But we went to her house, back to her house. I went to Washington with my home family, my grandparents, everybody. So, okay, so we went to her house because we were sleeping there for that night, me and my mom. So we went to her house, and then she told my mom. Basically, she told my mom. Okay, so it was Samantha, her mom, my mom, and one of her sisters, and me, just right there in that room. It was a room. It was her room, actually. It was her room. And then she basically just told everybody, like, everybody right there. And then my mom was not shocked. She kind of knew, I guess, because she was just waiting for me to tell her, I think. Personally, I think that. But she wasn't shocked. Like, she kind of knew that, but she just was waiting for me to tell her. I guess, I don't know, but yeah, they were not shocked at all. Like, probably her family was shocked, but like my mom wasn't. Like, she didn't look like she was shocked. She just told me. She just told me, just tell me, just tell me. She just said that, just like, just tell me, just tell me. And yeah, I turned around. I was wearing a sweater. I still remember that day. I was wearing a sweater because I always, through my whole 6 months of my pregnancy, I wore sweaters. Always. I just didn't want to tell nobody, not even in school. Nobody knew in my school. Nobody knew. No teachers, no friends. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. Just me. And, well, just the baby's father knew, but that's pretty much it. Just me and him. That's it. But, yeah, so, we were there. And she told everybody. That's how my mom found out. That's how my mom found out. She basically just said, I will support you, you know, it's done. Whatever you did, it's done already. So, you know, just let's continue, you know, everything will be okay. She said that. So, yeah, so my aunt, the mom of my cousin, she was kind of, I guess, chill. I don't know. She didn't really say nothing. I was wearing a sweater, like I said, so she took it out of me, like the sweater, and I had like a baby bumps already. 6 months, I already had a baby bump. It was pretty big already, and it was super hot over there in Washington. It was super hot, and I was wearing a sweater. I wanted to take it out, but I just didn't want them to find out, so that's why I didn't take out the sweater. But whatever. And then that's basically how my mom found out. Now let's go to my grandparents. That's the most dramatic. Everything was dramatic in that situation. Okay, so this happened to my grandparents. Okay, so we were in my aunt's house now. My other aunt's house. Daughter, my mom, sister, my mom. I'm saying not daughter, my mom. Daughter, my grandma, sister, or my mom, my aunt, another aunt that I had over there. So we went to her house. And the same day we told my grandparents, that's the same day we actually buried my aunt. My other aunt. That's the same day we actually went to her funeral and stuff like that, and we buried her and stuff, and we said goodbyes and stuff like that. But that's the same day I told, well, I didn't really told, but that same day my grandparents found out. So as you can see, that was already bad. The situation was worse because they were really emotional at that time, really emotional, and everything was just everybody was so emotional and everything. Everybody was so emotional at that day. That's the same day I told my grandparents. Okay, so my aunt, we went to her house. My aunt, my aunt, we went to her house. My other aunt. And then she sat down my grandma. She's my grandma. And then she told my grandpa, like, another, not the same time. Because my grandpa was sleeping, I guess, when we told my grandma. Okay, so I was sitting down on the couch. Then my grandma was sitting by me in the couch. And then my mom was sitting in another couch, but she was in the same living room, the same room. And then my cousin, two cousins, they're already big. They're like 25, 26, I don't even know. But they're already old. And then, so they were sitting in front, and then my aunt was sitting in front of my grandma. And then there was just a bunch of people everywhere, a bunch of kids everywhere, because, you know, we were saying good, we were just together to, you know, get strong and stuff for my aunt's death and stuff. But we were together in that time. And then yeah, so basically my aunt just told my grandma, I need to tell you something, but I don't want you to get mad or frustrated or, you know, emotional or to say nothing, like, you know, like kind of calming her down for the big news, for the bad news for her at that moment. So basically I just sat down by her. I was just sitting down with my grandma, and I was just so scared. Like, I think that was the scariest thing in my life, dude. Scared. I was so scared. Like, I was crying. I was barely crying. Like, I was crying already. She hasn't even told my grandma when I was already crying. Okay, so she told my grandma, basically just said, Anieli is pregnant. That's it. That's what she told her. Anieli is pregnant. Those are the words that came out of her mouth that day. Anieli is pregnant. My grandma was very, very, very shocked. Very, very, very upset. Very sad. Very... let's see, very just upset, really, just upset, and just very disappointed of me. Very very shocked, very sad. It was a very sad day for us, all of us. She just said, "Oh my god!" Like she did not know what to say. She was just shocked. She was just shocked. She just stared at me. She turned her head. She just stared at me. Yeah. So basically, that's how my grandpa found out. After that, she found out one of my cousins said to another my cousin. He said to this other cousin that I have right there. He's like, go take her to the hospital. Like let's see how the baby is doing. Let's see. Baby's a boy, baby's a girl. Let's see how she's doing, because she never had cared. So she was, one of my cousins took me to the hospital with his wife, with his girlfriend. Took me to the hospital with my mom too. My mom, him, his girlfriend, and I went to the hospital. Basically everything was good. The baby was healthy. 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 everything. Everything was good. The baby was healthy. Everything was good for the baby. The baby was healthy. Like it was healthy. He was healthy. I was doing good. I was doing fantastic. I was doing good. I was just the only thing that concerned the doctors was that my pressure was up. The reason for it was because we just told my grandma, and that was really scary for me, and so that's why it was up. I just explained that was up because I just told my family pretty much, and yeah, but they didn't. They just left me there for a little bit. That everything was okay. My pressure was down. My pressure was good. Everything was good. It was good. Everything was good. After that, we just went out to eat just a little bit because I was really starving. I was starving because that's like we just came after the funeral. We just buried her, and I was starving already. Like I was starving. I was dying of starving. But no, I'm just kidding. If I was starving, but that's how my grandma found out. Now my grandpa. Well, the moment I was in the hospital, my aunt, the same aunt I told my grandma, told my grandpa. He told her, he was like, I want to tell you something. That's kind of the same thing he told her. That's what she told me that she told her. That she told him that he wanted to say something. And then she's like, Nayla's pregnant, and he was pregnant. And then he was just really shocked and sad and disappointed. Same thing. Just very shocked and disappointed. And then, yeah, that's pretty much, he was very, very sad and emotional that day because his daughter just died, just passed away. So that is pretty much how my family found out. Now my brother, because I only have a brother and my mom and my grandparents. And my dad, he's not here. He is in Mexico. I'll tell you guys though how he reacted. But my brother, he was kind of calm to it. He was a bit shocked. Since I was in Washington, I didn't tell him face to face because he was over here in Oregon. He didn't came because he was working and he couldn't go because if he went, they will fire him. So he had to stay here. But that was really stupid of them. But to fire him for it because that's dumb. He has to go, say goodbye to his aunt. Like what the heck, But whatever. So he was here in Oregon while I was over there in Washington saying goodbye to my aunt, saying goodbye to her. Okay, so I went to actually my grandma was the one that told my brother. She said to him in the phone, obviously in the phone. She said to him that Nia is pregnant. That's pretty much it. That's what she said. That's pretty much what she said. Nia is pregnant, and he was just shocked. And she was like, "Nah, she's not pregnant." He was like saying, "Nah, she's just lying. She's just lying." He was just saying that, but he was shocked. Then we came back. We didn't come back the same day, But when we came back, baby was born already. We came back. When we came back, my brother, he was just fall in love with him immediately. When he saw the baby, he was just, stumble. He was just really, really happy, really, 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 really in love with him. He carried him, he fed him, he slept them. He was just really in love with him. It was just the cutest thing that my brother and my son got, a strong bond towards each other. It was really cool, and it was really,